My driveway is a narrow concrete cage between stone walls. Once I park behind you, you're not leaving. For 3 years, entitled college kids had used it as free parking, treating my property like a public commodity with zero respect for boundaries. I've been patient, often moving my car simply to avoid confrontation. That era of restraint ended the moment a BMW princess showed up Friday night, arrogantly wedging her expensive car right against my garage door. I came home from a brutally long work week, exhausted and craving peace, only to find a private driveway, no parking sign totally ignored. I sighed, pulled my sedan into the remaining space, effectively sealing her fate for the entire long weekend, and went inside. 3 years of being the reasonable neighbor were definitively over. Around 10 p.m., she pounded on my door, demanding I move immediately. There was no apology, no pretense of politeness, just hostile entitlement. I calmly pointed out she was trespassing. She actually rolled her eyes and snapped her fingers at me, insisting she needed to leave, viewing my property rights as nothing more than a personal inconvenience to her social calendar. I told her I was in for the night. Her face twisted into disgust before she delivered the 4 words that fueled my resolve. That's not my problem. The years of accumulated frustration finally erupted into cold, hard strategy. I watched her storm off and immediately called the police. The inevitable red and blue lights soon appeared. I grabbed a beer and calmly walked out. I explained to the tired-looking officer that since I was now drinking, I couldn't legally move my car. The officer, sizing up the impossible angles and the immovable concrete walls, quickly realized no tow truck could get her out without massive property damage. He simply told her she'd parked illegally on private land and left. I looked at the calendar, Labor Day weekend. I went back out and informed her in my most polite tone that I'd be drinking until Tuesday morning, and she could get her car when I went back to work. The shriek that followed was a reward in itself. When she mentioned crucial Tuesday classes, I just shrugged and threw her own words back. That's not my problem. She was trapped for 72 agonizing hours. She tried everything. More cops. Same result. Tow trucks refused. Her friends came begging, mentioning it was Daddy's BMW, only increasing my conviction. Sunday, they tried a bizarre, confrontational tactic, ordering 20 pizzas to my house in a failed attempt to bait me. I accepted the delivery, tipped the confused guy generously, and continued to watch the unfolding drama from my porch like it was a premium Netflix series. Word had spread. My elderly neighbor even brought me cookies, thanking me for teaching the youngsters a lesson. Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. I walked out in my work attire. She was sitting on my front steps in wrinkled clothes, pure desperation in her eyes. Her hope flared as I approached, but I just smiled, watched the Uber pull up to the curb, and hopped right in, because I was in the mood to drive that day. The look on her face was pure, crushing defeat. The lesson of malicious, glorious compliance was complete. When I returned around midnight, the BMW was gone, just tire marks left on the concrete. I never saw her again, and for the rest of my time in that house, my driveway stayed completely empty. The victory was silent, but permanently etched into the neighborhood's memory.